Okay, good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes? Okay, awesome. One second, I'll make sure this is recording. Okay, perfect. Haven't done this in a while, so getting adjusted to the Zoom. All right. Hello, everyone. So good to see you guys. I'm so excited. I could hardly sleep last night from excitement, like before school excitement. So happy to see you. And I'm so excited to be doing this training with you guys for 5 days, self-studying, deepening our practice, all of that stuff. It's one of my favorite things ever. So I'm really, really grateful that you're here. And I made sure to keep this, sorry, it's very bright, to keep this as a nice small group so that we can really see each other and have this to be as interactive as possible. So at any point in this class, in this workshop, you want to unmute yourself and say anything, feel free to do that. So I really want this to be as interactive as possible, more than any of the other immersions. And yeah, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of kind of how the structure of the program will be. Andrew, this is your first immersion. I couldn't believe when I saw you. I was like, oh, he never comes to the immersions. And then I found you. That's so cool. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of kind of how the classes will be, in case you have something to do on one of the days and you can't be live, just so you kind of plan around it. So we'll typically start out at 9 a.m. to 9:20 with a meditation, with a morning meditation. And then from 9:20 to 9:30, we'll do a 10-minute breath work. So obviously this can shift, 2 to 3 minutes off, but it's going to be kind of like that. So 9:20 to 9:30, we'll be doing a pranayama breath work. And then from 9:30 to 9:35, we'll have a 5-minute visualization. And then we'll start our practice shortly after, a couple of minutes after. We'll, get some water and all that, and then we'll start our asana practice. And then after we finish our asana practice, we have an optional posture clinic. So that means that I really want to look at you doing any pose that's kind of confusing to you, and we're all going to learn from each other. And this was one of my favorite parts about doing any trainings in the past, because you could really see when you're observing somebody else's body, how they can make this pose, for example, feel stronger, how they can make the pose more stable, more full of ease, any kind of modifications that they need to take. So this part, I think, is very valuable. So hopefully I'll always keep time at the end so that we can do that and learn from each other. And this is a back bending immersion. So most of our focus will be on back bending techniques, front body opening, a lot of glute strengthening. I don't even need to say that. So a lot of glute strengthening, a lot of spinal strengthening, as you probably know, because I don't think any of you, this is your first immersion. Flexibility is a lot about strength, right? It's hardly just about stretching. It's not stretching. It's actually getting so strong so that we can support this, what's this. Basically, it's like uncovering all the possibility all the freedom in your body, really. When you think about flexibility, I don't want you to think of like contortion, like painful shapes. You want to create freedom in your own body so your body can move in any way that you want it to, right? So that's really what we're thinking about. We're uncovering restrictions, right? And to do that, we have to be supporting our flexibility with strength so that this flexibility feels really good. So so we'll be doing a lot of drills. We are going to be getting creative with stuff you have around the house. I think every day we'll be doing a King Arthur, so you'll need your wall space to be free. So that's something you can start shuffling with after the meditation and the pranayama. And we'll definitely need our blocks, our strap, all that stuff. Okay. So yeah, warm welcome from Giselle. She's very loud these days. So let's come to start getting comfortable in a seated position. And happy Chinese New Year, Crystal. That's for you. Okay, so let's come to start in our comfortable seated position. For the meditation, I really recommend getting as comfortable as you can. Like, set yourself up nicely with, a block, a bolster, sit against the wall, minimal kind of feeling like you want to move. Like, set yourself nicely so that you can sit comfortably for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me well. So my suggestion for this meditation is to prop a block under you. You can have some water next to you, and you can have a block right underneath you like this, and then come to a comfortable seated position. So your spine is neutral, and you feel a little bit of like a lifting sensation. You're not just like sinking down. All right, and then once you're settled here, rest your hands down on your thighs, and let's roll the shoulders up, back, and down, beginning to widen across the collarbones and finding a little bit of stillness in your body. Just taking a moment to fully arrive into the space around you. Feeling the weight of your body as it presses down. Notice what your sitting bones are touching. Noticing the contact of your feet, the hands as they softly rest on the thighs. And the soft texture of your clothing with your skin, even beginning to notice the air on your skin. And start to shift your awareness to any sounds happening in the space around you. Intently listening to all the sounds, the louder sounds, the more subtle sounds. And very gently start to notice your body. Noticing the movement of your breath within your body. Resting your awareness on that movement. Notice if there's any qualities to the movement of your breath, if it feels effortless, smooth, steady, or if it feels like the breath is different with each breath and it's less rhythmic, maybe more shallow. Just observe. Continue to watch your body breathing. Try not to influence your breath in any way. Watching the natural ebb and flow of the breath. And gently noticing when your mind has wandered from that observing of the breath. And it's natural, your mind will always wander. It's the nature of the mind. So without forcing yourself not to think, just gently notice the thought and return back to the breath. And this is a constant process. Most of the time, when we're new to meditation, we sit with the expectation that we will stop our thoughts. And much to our surprise, we realize that that is impossible, that the point of meditation is just to sit and watch the thoughts and then redirect the focus back over and over. Notice your inhale and your exhale. Keep returning back to the breath. And just know that this process will change every day depending on what's happening in our mind. So some days this process will feel very effortless. And just like a clear sky, you'll notice maybe just a few clouds and everything is very clear and slow. And other days, maybe your mind will feel like a storm and you'll hardly get a chance to kind of notice the influx of the thoughts. And that's okay. The whole point is that you are the observer. You are the one noticing the fluctuations of the mind. I heard this beautiful analogy one time that was saying that when your meditation is like when you're sitting inside your cozy apartment and you're looking outside at the storm happening versus being outside and caught in the storm. So I really love kind of that analogy because it gives you this clear understanding that you're not outside caught in the storm, you're inside watching what's happening. Keep gently returning back to the breath. See if you can even observe that space between each exhale and inhale, each inhale and exhale. And start to gently let go of any focus of your breath. And just for a moment, we're going to just watch the thoughts. So letting your mind be free as you stay and observe. Like you're watching a movie or a play, just watch your thoughts. Keep observing. And gently return back to the breath. And whenever you're ready, slowly bring your palms together to the center of your chest. Try to keep your eyes closed and take a moment here to set any intention that inspires you for this day or for the rest of your practice. Setting a clear intention that you can always return back to. And once you've set your intention, you can keep your eyes closed, start rubbing your hands together, creating some heat. And hover your hands a few inches from your face, taking a big breath in and a full breath out. Gently opening your eyes when you're ready. Thank you for joining this first meditation. If you're kind of an experienced meditator, this might have been easy for you. And if this is not something you do very often, it might have been challenging. But the good thing is every day it gets a little bit easier. And today we sat down for, I think, about 15 minutes. So every day we'll try to make it a little bit longer. And typically when I meditate, this is kind of how I do it. I put a timer for 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the day. And I sit and I just watch everything going on up here. And some days it's like a mess. And then some days it's just like, and also sometimes the first 5 minutes are the hardest. And then it just starts to get a lot easier. I remember one time I kept looking at the time while I was meditating. I was like, this is like, time is just not passing. And then I was like, just surrender to it. And then time passed without, I was surprised when the bell started that the meditation was over. So it's just about like a plank, you surrender and you just stay, and then it creates a little bit of space. So it's very valuable. Okay, so we're gonna move into our breath work. And if you need to change your seat, if kind of your leg has fallen asleep or you need to stretch, you can do that. And then we're gonna make our way back to a comfortable seat for our pranayama. So the breath work we're going to be practicing today is a samavriti. We're going to start out with an inhale for a count of 6 and exhale to a count of 6. Then we're going to do this for a few rounds, probably 5 rounds. Then we're going to add on another layer. We're going to inhale for 6. We're going to hold for 6, exhale for 6. Then optional, the last round, you can inhale for 6, hold for 6, exhale for 6, hold for 6. Okay. If you are pregnant, I don't think anyone's pregnant, but in case you're like early in the pregnancy, make sure that you don't do the hold at the end. You can do the hold in the middle if you've done that before your pregnancy, that's fine, but don't do the hold at the end. Okay, so inhaling 6, exhaling 6, then inhaling 6, holding 6, exhaling 6, then inhale 6, hold 6, exhale 6, hold, then you inhale again. The most important thing is that you're not straining. So if your lung capacity is still, you find it hard to breathe in for that long, then modify and breathe in for 4, like just this. And then exhale for 4, okay? It's easier to control your breath on the exhale. And something that I think is really interesting to think about when it comes to the breath is that, for example, think of you having a balloon, right? Full with air, right? You have the option of just kind of exhaling all the air out of the balloon right away, or you can constrict and let it release slowly. That's what you're doing with your exhale. And that is very, very important for how we control our nervous system, especially when we're working on deep back bends, right? So we never want to just imagine that balloon. We never want to just exhale all the way out, right? That's how we breathe out when we're stressed. Instead, I want you to think of that balloon and exhale it like this. How slow can you empty that air out? This is such an incredible, important tool to learn in your yoga practice. And then eventually, as you learn to exhale like that, you start to inhale like that as well. Instead of filling up the balloon right away, you're starting to fill it up slowly, okay? So that's your whole focus for the pranayama today. Now, when we do our breath hold, it's very important that you think of your locks, your bandhas, okay? You have Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor, and Uddiyana Bandha, which is your navel, right? Your navel lock. So these, and people kind of disagree on what they mean, but this is kind of how I was taught it, and this is what I believe it is, but there's no absolute. But the root lock, the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, you want to think of a diamond, okay? Your pubic bone is this part of the diamond. Your tailbone is the back of the diamond, okay? And the 2 other ends of the diamond are your sitting bones. The pelvic floor, literally, so let me come closer. The pelvic floor is the muscles at the base of your pelvis. So what they actually do, if you think of the center point in that diamond, I don't have enough hands to show you, but let's say this is a complete diamond. That center point, what Mula Bandha is the lifting of those muscles, okay? So it's not just a little squeeze, it's a whole lift. And another great analogy is thinking of an elevator. Like you're riding an elevator and it's going up, 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 and you hold it at the top. And when you release it, you don't push down, you just release slowly, okay? If you're a female, you can think about picking up a blueberry, okay? Or another kind of weird one that my Pilates teacher gives is that there's a straw inside your vagina and you're trying not to let someone pull it out. That's the feeling, okay? It's very subtle. If you're a male, you're pulling your genitals in and up into your body, okay? So that's your Mula Bandha. We don't want to be squeezing Mula Bandha the whole class. We're not like sitting there just like straining the whole time, right? It's something that naturally happens on your exhale, but you want to give it a little bit of attention at the beginning of class so you wake it up, and then you can use it in your plank, for example, in your boat pose. Okay, so it's a tool that you're like, oh, I'll use it now. Okay, so you want to bring some attention to it while you're sitting, so that when you're moving, it's easier to think about. Okay, so that's your Mula Bandha. Your Uddiyana Bandha, if you've taken any core classes with me before, we spoke about the Mula Bandha, sorry, the Uddiyana Bandha. And again, thinking of a balloon, this is your core unit. You're not just going to squeeze at the center and have pressure down and pressure up. You're going to think about a corset. It's literally the muscles of your transversus, which is in control of your Uddiyana Bandha, is a corset. Okay, so they run transversely, and what they do is they hug towards the midline. So it actually makes your waist smaller. The transversus is what makes your waist, it cinches the waistline in. Okay, so every time you exhale, I don't want you to think just navel to spine. I want you to think and visualize anatomically that wrapping. Okay, and it starts below the ribs all the way down to the ASIS bones. So this whole area cinches in. Okay, and if you make the sound T, S, 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 like a really loud, like, and put your hands right here, you'll feel, right, this deep contraction of your transversus. So go ahead and make that sound. Maybe someone in your house will think you've gone mad. That you feel that is it. You can even, and if you notice, if you exhale very strongly, it's the same thing, right? This happens automatically on our exhale. But what we want to do is recruit it in our breath work. Any questions about this? Is very complicated. So if you have any questions, yeah, I totally, there's no silly question. Let me know if you have any questions about this. You can unmute. So yeah, that's basically the core. Questions, Bella? No, okay. All right, so let's start. So again, you don't have to do the 6, you can do 4, you can do 3, you can make it longer. So let's rest the hands down. Take a big breath in to prepare. And exhale fully. Just a soft exhale out. Now breathe in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale as slow as you can. Think of that balloon emptying slowly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale slowly through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale softly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adding the breath hold. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. Don't exhale, just holding, feeling that tension. Draw your pelvic floor up. Mula Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha, cinch the waistline in as you keep holding that breath. 4, 5, 6. Exhale, keeping a slight activation of your bandhas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to repeat the same way. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 1, 2. Mula Bandha applied. 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. Focus on Uddiyana Bandha, knitting everything towards your midline. 3, 4, 5, 6. Retain that corset feeling as you exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Lift everything up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. I want you to do 3 rounds at your own pace. No tension in the face. And once you're ready, we're going to add the breath hold at the end. That is optional. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold your breath. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more rounds at your own pace. Adding in that optional hold after the exhale. Last round. And whenever you're ready, you can release that breath, taking a big breath in and a full breath out. Good. So any questions about that? Was that okay? Let me know if you had any difficulties or felt anything, any sensations. But the more we practice this pranayama, the more we can control our breath more with more ease. So it takes a little bit of time. Sometimes people feel, I was one of those people at the beginning that used to feel very lightheaded when I would practice breath work. And my teacher had told me at the time it was because I was breathing basically with like 20% of my lung capacity. So I would breathe like this. And then when I started doing this breath work, I was breathing way more oxygenating my body way more than before. So maybe sometimes you're not used to all that that oxygen, so that can cause some sensation, but it shouldn't make you feel anxious. If it does, you just need to maybe take a step back and do less holds. So just the inhale and the exhale. If you ever feel anxious from this breath as well, what you can do is shorten the inhale and lengthen the exhale. And that's the breath people use for anxiety, because when your exhale is longer than the inhale, nervous system shifts also to a relaxed state. So that's, if you're ever in doubt, just practice the exhale being longer. All right, so if you need any water or to change your position, and then we're going to do our visualization. It's a short visualization exercise that ties into our practice today. And with visualization, what you're doing is basically, it's a little bit of a body trick, but what happens scientifically, it's been studied that visualization, the body has a hard time knowing whether what you're thinking about is true or not. So if your mind is thinking about something, for example, very stressful, and you're visualizing it and feeling it with the details, your body thinks it is in that stressful situation. The good news is it's the same thing with, for example, something that's not stressful. So when you, for example, visualize your body doing something it doesn't know how to do yet, because your mind can see it, your body thinks it's real. So visualization is a step in being able to physically do the things that we want to do, right? So let's say any kind of skill, running a marathon, something, in swimming or doing a handstand press. If you can visualize your body doing it with as much detail as possible, your mind can see it, your body thinks it is real. Okay, so obviously we can't just visualize and then go on our mat and handstand press, but it's a step that makes it easier for that to happen. Okay, so it's fascinating. And yeah, it's a really kind of nice way to bridge that gap between what your body thinks you can do and what your mind thinks you can do, and you bridge them together. So let's start our visualization. And for this visualization, if you'd like to lie down, that's also great. You can lie down, you can sit comfortably, whatever feels nice. And then just take a moment to find a little bit of stillness, bringing your awareness back into the breath, clearing out your mind as you focus on your breath, noticing if the quality of your breath has shifted from the beginning of this practice, if there's any changes or it's the same. Observing where the movement of your breath is occurring in your body. If it feels a little bit lower or higher up in chest and shoulders. Taking 3 conscious breaths here. And now, as you sit here, I want you to visualize that there is a light at the very base of your spine. And this light shines upwards, illuminating the space between each vertebra. Continues to move all the way up to the crown of your head. So your spine is long, illuminated, and spacious. Holding this visual in your mind's eye for a moment. Imagining that with each inhale, your spine lengthens up even more. And with each exhale, you can feel that light grounding your sitting bones into the surface beneath you. And now we're going to keep that visual in our spine, but I want you to imagine that you are sitting somewhere that is spacious and bright, in a space that brings you joy and inspiration. That could be whatever you'd like. It could be in an indoor space, it could be on a beach, whatever your mind or heart desires. It's a place where you feel good. Noticing any little details like the temperature of the air, or what surrounds you there. you can hear any sounds. And you can see yourself there on your mat, sitting with a tall, illuminated spine. And you gently start to add some movements on your mat. And I want you to imagine moving in a way that is completely unrestricted. You're moving in any way that feels nice. Maybe you're doing cat cows, maybe you're doing spinal rolls, but you're moving your spine and there is no restriction whatsoever in your spine. Your spine is fully spacious, supple, healthy, full of ease. And it's a gentle warm up, so you're just moving. You're feeling how good this feels, how easy it is to move your spine in that way, unrestricted, spacious. And then as you gently move in that way, you start to add any other movements that inspire you. And maybe, you can you can dream big here. So it doesn't have to be something you think is physically attainable to you. It could be anything physically possible. So as long as it inspires you, it could be doing a wheel with a lot of ease, it could be doing an alien, you could be dropping back, you could be pressing into a scorpion, anything really, anything that you would love to feel in your body. And sometimes here thoughts might arise about why you can't do that and why it's hard and why it's going to take a long time. Just let those thoughts go. See yourself doing whatever this is that inspires you. And as you visualize it, imagine it being effortless. There's no struggle, there's no pain. It's the most natural thing for you. Notice any thoughts, let them go. Keep that visual in your mind. And gently letting go of that movement, that more advanced or complicated movement, and returning back to your seated position. Noticing how your spine feels. See if you can keep that feeling of spaciousness and ease, of unrestricted freedom in your body. Knowing that if your mind can see it, your body believes that it is possible, and it is possible. Slowly bring your palms together to the center of your chest and extend gratitude to your body, to your practice, and to yourself. Connecting back to your intention, and at your own time, slowly open your eyes. All right, so we're going to move into our posture practice. In about 2 minutes, I'll give you an opportunity to take a little break and grab your props and set up next to your wall and get everything you need for this practice, maybe some water. And then let's meet on our mat in about 2 minutes or so. How are you guys doing? Good. All right. Alexis has joined. So we're going to start out on our mats, sitting our hips on our heels, and just take a block and place it under your sitting bones like this. Good. And then from here, let's roll the shoulders. Oh, wait, I think some people aren't back yet. Okay, we can wait one more minute. Take your time. But if you're already nice and set up, you can just start like this and just pay attention to your breath for the next few moments. Beginning to lengthen out that inhale and slow down the exhale. Keeping that visual of your long, illuminated spine. Your shoulders are relaxed. And there's a little bit of energy in your pelvic floor and your low belly or your Uddiyana Bandha. So you're not tensing and lifting so strongly, but there's a slight kind of energy activation of your corset muscles, your transversus abdominis, and your pelvic floor is lightly engaged. Good. All right, from here, let's roll the shoulders back and down. Take an inhale. Reconnect back to your intention and slow exhale. On your next inhale, start slowly circling your head. Try as much as you can as you circle the head here to keep this movement isolated to your neck. So there's actually nothing else moving in your body. Good. And last one, then reversing your direction. Remember, this is isolated just to the neck, so try to minimize any movement anywhere else. Good. And coming back to the center, try to stack your head right in line with your spine, shoulders down. Bring your fingers to your shoulders and start making big circles out. As you do this, it's quite tempting to flare your bottom ribs out. And I want you to see if you can just gently draw the bottom ribs together. So this movement is more isolated as well to your shoulders. So Mina, a little bit more of drawing those bottom ribs together. Yeah, very good. Crown of the head illuminated all the way up, reverse the direction. Keep those bottom ribs knitted together. Chest bone reaching forward and up. Good. And slowly release. Bring your hands to your knees, and on your inhale, gently pull the heart forward, relax the shoulders down, and lift your chin up away from your chest. You're imagining a line from your chin to your chest bone, and it's getting longer, so the throat is stretching. Exhale as you do the opposite. Push down into your knees. Empty the lungs fully. Draw the navel into the spine, chin to the chest. Shoulders go wider. Inhale. Focus on the quality of those movements, finding any subtle little activations. Shoulders down, chest up, chin up. Take your eyes to your ceiling. Exhale, start to push down into your knees. Belly in, chin to the chest. Good. 3 more. Starting to feel some movement happening in your upper thoracic spine for 2. and 1. Noticing how that block under you is actually allowing you to keep your lower back more stable. Now remove the block from underneath you, and we're going to come this, so stay where you are. I'm just coming this way to show you. And you're going to sit the left sitting bone to the side, and then bring your left shin parallel to the front of your mat. Right knee and right ankle are stacked. So you have this Pilates mermaid pose. Now from here, bring your right hand down and reach the left arm up and over, breathing into left side of your waist. Take a big stretch here. Big inhale, rising up, left hand down, right arm up and over. Maybe beginning to draw right sitting bone closer to the mat and stretching right pinky finger away. Again, inhale. Breathing deeply into the sides of your waist, exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good, keep going. At your own pace. Last one. The next time your left hand is down and the right arm is up, you're going to plug that right sitting bone down as much as you can. Sweep the right arm across your body, right hand down, left arm up. Big reach through that side of your waist. Again, transition, left arm reaches forward, sweep it across, right arm up. And reverse. Now we're going to start adding the hips. So as the left hand comes down, I want you to lift your hips, lift your chest, reach it back, lowering down and reversing, right hand down, lift your hips, lift your chest, reach it back. Good. So you don't have to lift very high, but you're trying to add your pelvis. So the pelvis is lifting slightly as you reach. Good. Last 2. And last 1. Slowly returning back to your mermaid pose, left hand down, right arm up. I want you to flip your palm like you're pushing your ceiling away, and we're gonna keep our eyes fixated on our right fingertips. Take that right shoulder all the way back, follow your eyes to your fingers, and then as you come forward, you're rounding through the rib cage, through the upper thoracic spine. Inhale, open out. Exhale, round it forward. So you're not just moving into the shoulder. I want you to try as much as you can to really move through those ribs. And this is quite a hard area to access. Let me see you guys doing it. So keep going. Yes, very good, Crystal. I can see that movement. Nice. Beautiful, Mina. Imagine like you're moving through resistance as well. So there's like thick water that you're moving through. Very nice, Alexis. So good. Let's reverse the direction. So we're going to see curve forward and then open as you reach back. Yes, very good. Keep going. So you're just reversing the direction that you're going. Yeah. Nice, Judy. Salma, it's a little dark. I can't see you. Sorry to make you change your Zen lighting, but okay, that's better. Nice. Last one. Good, and then releasing, rising up, palms to the center of the chest. And I want you to turn that right leg out, bring the left foot into the right inner thigh. So we're not changing that much, we're just turning to face this way. Right kneecap is pulled up, flex that right ankle deeply, sit tall, and then point your toes. Inhale to flex, exhale to point. Inhale, flex, exhale to point. Good, now we're gonna hold our flexed position, reach the arms up. Reach your fingertips up, try and spin your chest bone towards that right thigh. So there's a little bit more of a rotation. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, point your toes as you fold. Inhale, flex to rise up. Lengthen the crown of the head. Exhale, point to fold. Good, 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, hinging at your waist as you fold. 2. Get even longer through that right thigh. And last one. Holding it here. So you can hold it here in your forward fold, but I don't want you to round your spine. You can rise higher if you need to. Think of really lengthening, finding a little bit more of a back bend here. Chest bone reaches forward as you gently lower your chest to your thigh, your chin to your shin bone, crown of the head elongates towards your toes. Good. One more big breath. Letting go of any tension that you'd like to release in the face, the jaw. And we're gonna rise up. Come onto your fingertips. Take an inhale breath, sit tall. I recommend taking a block behind you so that you have that honest feedback that you're not leaning back for this one. Take a big breath. Crown of the head lengthens. Exhale, lift the right leg, even if it's just 2 inches or half an inch, that's okay. Before you lift, I want you to try 2 with just a lift, and then 2 with pelvic floor and Uddiyana Bandha. So with your Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, and notice how it might feel a little bit lighter. So you engage those before you lift. Take an inhale and exhale, and then lift. It actually makes it a little bit better. Hopefully you feel that. Good. So for me, it actually makes it like an inch higher, but let's see. Let's see how it is for you. Yeah, very good. So it helps to not do it and then notice the feedback, notice the difference when you do engage first. So you want to kind of lift pelvic floor, draw the belly in first, then initiate that movement. Good. Now, last one, we're going to stay lifted. This is a pelvic floor hold. So as your leg stays lifted, you have to keep that pelvic floor lifted at the highest elevator. Remember, we spoke about that. Hold it there, little pulses. Don't release pelvic floor for 10, 9, shoulders relax, face soft. Good. 8, 7, 6. Try not to touch the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg higher, hold, pelvic floor still stays lifted. Circle it across so that you can stack your right knee over the left for cow face. Yes, most of you guys know it. Yeah, good. So Bella, let's make a little bit more space here by shifting the left heel. So we're here, right? A lot of times people sit kind of on that left heel, especially if you're more flexible. Go ahead and make some more space. If you're very flexible, what you can do is actually shift your ankle so that they're almost in line with each other, and this will deepen that external rotation. Grab onto the ankles, take an inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, try to get your chest to touch your right knee. Inhale, exhale. So it's a deep hip opener. Good. Now we're gonna add the shoulders, rising up, circle the arms up. Bend the left elbow. Let's hook that elbow behind the head. So we're not hooking the elbow kind of here. Intentional contact with that elbow. So take that elbow, bring it behind your head first, okay, in the center of your head. Now, lift your chin, release. Keep that elbow where it is. So Alexis, yeah, more towards the right. Now, take your right arm, circle it back behind you. Start to crawl the right fingers up towards the left. They don't have to touch, but you can use what you're wearing to crawl up higher, 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 maybe even using your hair or your strap. From here, lift your chin, lift your chest, exhale, round the upper spine. Inhale, exhale. Last one. And instead of rounding, I want you to take your chest to that right knee again. Breathe deeply. So you've really prepared yourself for this pose. So maybe it won't feel too intense, but if it is, soften corners of your mouth. So Alexis, what happened? Go back to that. Yeah, good. And you're thinking of that hinging. So Mina, try to hinge from your waist. Imagine chest to your knee. Yeah, yeah. Yes, really good. Pam, what happened? Yeah, hold. It doesn't feel good on your, oh, this shoulder, the one that's down. So don't go so deep. Keep it like this. To keep that one up. Yeah. Good. Do you feel the stretch in your outer hip, Pam, or not really? Yes, okay. So Alexis, try to bring that chest to your knee. Go down, down, down. Yes, really good. Exactly. So that's your cow face. So it's both, right? It's the hip opener and the shoulder opener. Take another big breath. Sunlight, you're not in it, right? Oh, you are. Okay, I see you. You're a silhouette. Bring your chest lower. Salma, lower. All right, release, shake out the arms. Okay, this is, yeah, it's pretty intense. Now, we're just releasing the cow face arms, right? From here, palms to the center of the chest. I want you to circle the right leg back out, flex that right ankle, and then come on to the left foot. So what you're doing here is actively spinning the left inner thigh out. So try doing this a few times. You're opening that knee out. You can do little flutters out of the knee. So the left adductor is working. Then keep that opening out. So you've felt the difference between caving it in and opening it out. Keep it opening out, arrow spinning up. Take the right hand to the left ankle. Deep flexion. I'm going to take my right shoulder down as far as it feels good. Maybe your shoulder will touch your inner knee. Maybe you'll stay higher. That's up to you. But keep that opening out and then reach the left arm up and over. Maybe touching and rising up. You don't have to touch, and reach it away and rise up. Good. Last one, and hold. If you have a hold of your right toes, deep flexion to spin left side of the chest even higher up towards your ceiling. So you're holding it there. Yeah. So yeah, exactly, Alexis. Hold that side bend. Beautiful. Let's try to keep the breath even fuller here. So Bella, spin your toes up to your ceiling. Toes up, not open. Yes, exactly. Up to the ceiling. They always want to open out. Yeah, and then keep your left knee opening out, Bella. Exactly. Very good. Take another big breath here. Very nice, Andrew. Very nice, Judy. And good, Magda. Nice. Rise up slowly. And then from here, we're going to, so you're here, we're going to bring the left toes to face just like the right. Deep flexion of that right ankle. And then lower down gently onto your forearms. Actually, let's stay on the hands for now. So the hands are facing forward. Point your right toes. Move your left foot just in line with that right knee. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale, kick the right leg up. Inhale, tap. Exhale, lift. So this is a quad and hip flexor exercise, but I want you to bring awareness to pelvic floor and to your Uddiyana Bandha. So you're lifting them before you do the movement. Good. Elongate that right thigh even more. If this is easy, you can sit higher onto the sitting bones. So it's a lot harder when you sit higher. Last 3, 2, and 1. Keep it lifted, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down onto the forearms and lower all the way down onto your spine. Take a block, and we're going to bend the right knee and place the right foot onto that block. From here, even at your hip points, so the hips are nice and square, and then we're going to lift our hips up into a bridge. Good. So once you're settled in the bridge, what I want you to do here is press that right heel down into the block. Hip points are square, and then float the left leg up into a tabletop position. So the left knee is bent and the knee is stacked over the hip. From here, we're just lowering the hips down. Exhale, lifting up with the pubic bone. Lower, and exhale, lift. Nice and slow to start. So you're doing 8 of these slow movements. Right heel is pressing into your block. Good. So Mina, move your heel further. So the most important part of the block thing is that you feel the heel on the block, grounding the heel bone. Yes, good. Now see if you can lift just your toes off that block. So just the toes. Yeah. Let's do 6 more. Lifting with your pubic bone. Nice, Judy. For 4. Don't let the hips kind of shift out of alignment, Alexis. So keep your hands on your hip points, the ASIS bones, and keep them looking straight up to the ceiling. Yeah. Last one. Now we're going to stay lifted, and we're going to do 20 pulses with the pubic bone here. So pressing into the heels and just pulsing up, little movements. See if you can bring a little bit more of your upper back down on the mat so you're not overextending into the upper spine for this one. Yeah, good. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Good, Salma. I could feel the burn just looking at you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 10 faster ones. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted where you are. Just straighten the left leg all the way up and bend the left knee back to tabletop. Exhale, straighten. Good. Inhale, bend. So especially if you're very flexible, don't let that thigh come to your chest. Keep it exactly, Bella, right on top of your hip. Bend and exhale, straighten. Good. Now we're going to combine those two movements. You're going to bend, exhale, straighten, lift pubic bone 1 inch higher. Pulse. Bend, exhale, straighten. Press into right heel, pubic bone adds a little pulse. Good. If you're more experienced, you can do a double pulse. So bend, straighten, pulsing 2 times. Good. Bend, straighten, pulsing 2 times. Keep that right thigh away from you. Sorry, the left thigh. Yeah. Good. Straighten and double pulse or pulse. Good. We have 6 more. So right butt cheek is working. Try to keep bottom ribs knitted together. Last 3. Last 2. And last one. From here, send that left leg long, just towards wherever you feel comfortable. So it doesn't have to touch the floor. Exhale, lift and pulse. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift and pulse. Lengthen, lift, pulse. Lengthen, lift, pulse. 5. So these are all very helpful drills for the wheel. 4. Keep your toes active. 3, 2, and 1. Final part. We're going to keep that left leg lifted as much as we can. Flex that ankle. Pulse your pubic bone up with that left leg straight for 10, 9, 8, 7. Squeeze right butt cheek. Bring all your focus there. Right hamstring as well. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 more. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze it higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down very slowly. Hug your knees into your chest. Remove your block to the side for now. Rocking from side to side. If you'd like to give yourself a hamstring stretch, you can keep that left thigh close and interlace your fingers behind the right thigh. Flexing the ankle, we're going to send the leg to a 90-degree position or lower if you don't have the 90-degree yet, and then straighten the left leg. Inhale, left thigh to the chest. Exhale, straighten left leg down. No changes to the right leg. Good. And from here, keep the ankle flexed, rise up onto your forearms, rising up onto your fingertips. Keep that right leg nice and lifted, point your toes, and bend the left knee. Squeeze knees together, arms up. Inhale, right heel taps down. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale. Exhale, energy up through the fingertips, through the crown of your heads. You have 6 more. Good. Stay with it. Strong hip flexors and quads. Beautiful. Nice, Pam. That's amazing. Try to lift your arms up so you use all of your core. Yeah. For 3. Nice, Salma. For 2. And 1. Keep it lifted. Hold arms up like higher. Squeeze that thigh into your chest. And visualizing what you're about to do first, you're going to release the right leg down softly. Left leg opens out. You can take another side bend. You can take another forward fold, whatever your body would like here. So you're just taking a moment to settle back. Good. And release. Plant the left hand down behind you. Circle the right arm from right to left. Lift your hips, lift your chest, reach back. Let's lift the pubic bone 1 more inch. Squeeze the glutes together and reach the right arm back. Maybe ice your fingertips for 3. See if you can pick up the chest for 2. Pressing right heel bone down for 1. And releasing softly. Palms to the center of the chest. Let's bring the right shin parallel to the front of the mat. Left leg is back in a half hero. So you have that nice Pilates mermaid. And from here, the left hand will start first. Left hand down, right arm up. Take a big breath into the side. So you've done this before on the other side. So maybe this time going a little bit deeper if that feels good. Keep reaching. Exhale to rise. Inhale, right hand down, left arm up. Pressing left sitting bone a little closer to the mat. Left pinky finger out of left hip. Exhale, rise. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Try as much as you can to feel a little bit more movement here. Last one. And the next time the right hand is down, left arm is up, we're gonna add the hips, lifting the hips up, reaching back and switch sides. Left hand down, right arm circles across. Good. So make this as much as you can about your quads, the fronts of the thighs, the pubic bone. Last one. The next time the right arm is up, we're gonna lower back down and we're gonna reach that left arm up and over. And then from here, maybe pressing left sitting bone now even more to the floor. You're gonna take your eyes to the left fingertips, flex your palm like you're pushing your ceiling away, and start to follow your eyes to your fingers as you reach back, rounding forward, and opening out. Moving into full range of motion of left shoulder and a little bit more mobility left side of the rib cage. One more in this direction. And then reverse. So energetically, a lot of times this is an area that feels stuck throughout the day. And it's really nice when you move into this, this whole area and breathe into it. It can feel like you're just releasing a lot of unnecessary stuff. Good. Last one. And slowly releasing, coming back down. So over here, take your palms to the center of the chest, and then we're gonna extend that left leg out. Bring the right foot into the left inner thigh, and take your fingertips down. Start flexing and pointing your left toes, pulling up on that left kneecap. Flex, point, flex, point. Now we're gonna hold our flexed position, stretching up nice and long. Take an inhale breath, exhale, point as you fold. Inhale to rise up, stretch up, kick through that left heel, exhale to fold. Good, 3 more. Hinging at your hips, breathing into left hamstrings. Last one. And holding it here. If you're rounding through your upper back, try to come a little bit higher up your leg and use your contact with the mat to keep a back bend sensation in the chest and the shoulders as you lower the chest to the thighs, chin to the shin, crown of the head to the toes. Extending that left thigh even longer. One more breath. And gently rising up, take your block, place it behind you like this so that you have that honest feedback, honest alignment. And we're going to bring the fingertips down. Take a big inhale breath. On the exhale, lift pelvic floor first. Draw that corset in towards your midline. Keep that activation and lift. Inhale, exhale. Good. Keep going. So even if it's lifting a tiny bit, we have 6 more. Sometimes making a corset with your hands helps. Last 2. Last one, stay lifted, little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, very good. 2 and 1, hold it there, stay lifted, hold. Good, keep it lifted, yes, for 5, 4, pelvic floor lifts up, 3, 2, and 1. Circle it around across your body for cow face. So you're stacking your knees on top of each other. And remember here that if you are more flexible, you can actually shift the right heel away from that outer left hip to make more space. So bringing the ankles on the same line. And if this is challenging, just stay here, breathe through it. We're gonna grab onto the ankles, lift the chest, and exhale to fold over your left knee. 2 more times, bringing some space into that outer left hip. Exhale, fold. Very good. And if you'd like to add your shoulders now, start circling the arms up. We're gonna keep the right elbow behind the head. Yeah, yes, good, Alexis, that's the right elbow. And then bring it behind your head as much as you can. Now, circle the other arm behind you and crawl the left fingers up towards the right fingers. Yeah. So if this is a lot, stay and breathe for a moment. If you're ready, you can start rounding through upper back and then opening through upper back. Rounding without hinging down yet, just rounding and opening. Yes, very good. So you're protracting scapula, then retracting scapula. Good. Now, from here, you can start hinging over your thighs. Using a strap if you'd like. Good, and hold. So Alexis, keep it behind your head. Yeah, you can use your strap. Holding in stillness here. So sometimes the jaw tends to tense up. If you can find some more softness here. Nice, Andrew. That's a different angle than you usually use, right? I feel like I've seen your house now. So Magda, try to bring that elbow up. So you see how it's out to the side? You want to have it all the way back. The reason for that is because if we're doing this stretch with our elbow out to the side, we're not really doing anything, right? Because what we're trying to prepare, what's the point of cow face? It's shoulders in flexion, which is our shoulders in wheel, in a handstand, in flipped grip poses, right? So we want to make sure that that elbow is in its alignment, even if it just stays here, and then the other one is far away with the strap. So I'll show you from the back. So you could be here, and that's completely fine. But I don't want you to be here, because here, you know, is not, we're not getting the shoulder in the position we're trying to get it in. Yes, so good. So bring that elbow, use your other hand first, Magda, to bring this elbow a little bit more across. Yes, that's so much better, exactly. Then the other one releases. Good. Yes, now do you feel it more? Okay, good. All right, one more breath. I think this is everyone's favorite shoulder, so we're focusing on it more. And rising up slowly, release your cow face arms. So you're here, and then palms to the center of the chest. We're gonna open that left leg out. Here, let's flex the left ankle, then we're gonna plant your right foot flat. And then first, before you do anything, I want you to activate that inner right thigh. So start spinning the inner thigh out. You can move the right foot out a little bit more so it's quite active. Once you feel ready, keep that imaginary arrow spinning up. Grab your right ankle with your left hand. Keep that opening. This is basically more for the rib cage. Okay, so you need to use your legs to assist you. Open out, reach the right arm up and over. Inhale to rise and reach it over. Sorry, you're inhaling to reach, exhaling to rise, because the inhale is what's opening that rib cage. And last one, and then hold. If you're just here, stay here and focus on the right adductor opening out. Or if you can touch your fingers, you're using the flexion of that ankle to really open up that chest. So it's a big stretch on the right rib cage. Hold for 5. See if you can send your breath into any restricted areas in the chest space for 4. Relax your head completely for 3. Keep that action happening in the inner right thigh for 2. Pam, that's wonderful. Looks so spacious. Nice, Salma. Try to spin your toes up. Judy and Bella, you're doing a good job on the side. Yeah. And 1. Rising up. Beautiful. And then we're going to release. So yeah, using the strap here is also great. So Andrew was using the strap. We were here. So he had a strap around the foot and he's reaching, and that gives you that same. So sometimes if you're not pulling on anything, you know, you're just here, it can be hard to feel it. So if you have a strap, that's actually a great idea because you can really reach over on that strap. Okay. This is helpful for our back bends. Why? Because we're trying to create more space in our upper thoracic spine. And sometimes we think about just back bending, you know, just kind of arching, rounding, right? But actually our spine can move in 4 different ways. It can twist, it can lateral side bend, it can flex, and it can extend. So when we add these lateral stretches, we're actually really mobilizing our rib cage, okay? So it can help. All right, so now we were here. We're going to bring the right foot forward next to the left and then point the left toes. You wanna have your hands behind you. So the easier option is to be here, point those toes and exhale, lift with the pelvic floor. Another option, if you're more, if you're stronger with your quads and your bandhas, you can be higher and then lift. So it's more effort on the body when you're closer. Okay, let's do 10 of these lifts, leg lifts. These have been my latest obsession. Good. And then you can try a few without the pelvic floor and then a few with the pelvic floor to see if there's any difference in your body. Move your anchored foot, your right foot, a few inches away from you, Magda. Yeah. So not out, just forward. So more stability. Yeah, exactly. Nice. So Mina, you want to keep the foot down still because this is the easier one. Yeah. Then we're going to do the harder one. Good. Chest up. How is it, Pam? Good. Really nice. Yeah. Now let's hold it there. Keep it lifted. Little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Like higher, Judy. 2 and 1. Hold it there. Point those left toes. Make that left leg longer, Crystal. Longer, 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 longer. Good. And lower down to your elbows, lowering all the way down onto your spine. Take your block and place it under your left foot. Making sure that your heel has sufficient contact with that block so you can actually press into the heel and lift your toes and it's grounded. Good. Now from here, lift your hips up, making sure your hips are nice and square. And then we're going to lift the right thigh up into tabletop. So the right knee is stacked right over. So I'm going to pin Judy here for a moment. Salma, this for you. You can see. Okay. So because I wanted to see you guys. So all right, very good. Now from here, keeping that knee right over your hip point. So you don't want to have it too close. So we can keep it in that tabletop position. Lower the hips down and exhale to lift. You're lifting by pressing into your left heel bone. Lower and lift. We're doing a few of these. Waking up left butt cheek. Alexis, keep your knee bent. And so it's not this one, Alexis. Take a look at Andrew. Yes. Good, very good. Lower and lift. You're waking up that left butt cheek from its sleep. Or maybe it's awake already, but if it's not, you're waking up more. Very good. Pam, let's try to close those bottom ribs so you're not hinging at the ribs. So really knit those ribs together. Yes, much better. Do you feel it in your butt, Alexis? Okay, good. Yes, very nice. So I'm kind of biased because my left butt cheek loves to sleep. So I'm looking at you guys like this is the same thing for you. Maybe it's not, but yeah. Lower and lift. Good. It's like years of it being asleep, you know, it's not like it's just ready to fire right away. It still has to be um observed. Good. Lower and lift. Now, last one, we're going to lower and lift, and we're going to keep pulsing 20 times. So you can go 10 and then 10 faster. So stay lifted at your highest, pubic bone up, and then start pulsing. 10, 9, 8. Press more into that left heel bone. 8. I know. 7, 6. Stay with it, Alexis. 5, 4, 3. Pam, you've got this. 2 and 1. Stay lifted. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, pubic bone. Lead it with your pubic bone. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stay lifted. Don't change anything. Just straighten that right leg. Point your toes. Don't stretch, Salma. Point your toes. Lift the pubic bone and then bend your right knee. Straighten and bend. This is your one-legged wheel drill. Bend and straighten. Good. Don't let the pelvis shift. So keep those hip points. Bend and straighten. Now let's add some movements together. We're going to bend, straighten, and pulse the pubic bone. Good. Bend. Don't let the hips drop. Straighten and pulse the pubic bone. You can do 1 or 2. If you want to do 2, then and you have super glutes, you can do that. 2 pulses. Yeah, like Andrew. Wow, this is incredible. Bend, straighten, and pulse. Yes, Bella, amazing. Bend, straighten, and pulse. Last 3. You've got this. 2. So really embrace the burn. We just have to. And 1. Now we're gonna keep that right leg lifted. Keep the right leg lifted and pulse. Oh, I think let's do the one where we lower the leg, exhale, lift, pulse. Lower the leg, exhale, lift, and pulse. Very good. Let's do, we have 8 more, and pulse. I'm biased to the left butt cheek, like I told you guys, so it has to be stronger. There's a good reason for the bias, because more of us are right-legged than left-legged, right? So this is our weaker side. And pulse. Last 6, 5, 4. So I've burnt 123 calories just teaching you guys. So you're probably in the 300s by now. Okay, last 2. And last 1, stay lifted. Now, right leg is super straight. Pubic bone is pulsing up 20 times. 10, 9, 8, 7. Press into that heel. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 more. Straighten out the leg more. Yes, flex the ankle. I guess we were flexing, maybe. Okay, yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Salma, where's your leg lifts? And 1. Good. And then slowly you can get move the block to the side, get a hamstring stretch, interlace your fingers behind that left hamstring, keeping it kind of away from you. And then straighten, draw the right thigh to the chest, and then exhale, straighten the right leg. So getting a psoas stretch as well. Beautiful. Yeah, I know it stays cramping for a while. Very nice, Magda. I can't believe you're in shorts and in this beautiful weather. This is amazing. Inspiration for traveling. I mean, look where she is. This is stunning. That's awesome. Oh, you guys couldn't see her? Okay, there she is. She's in her shorts and by the beach. We're all admiring where you are. Okay, so shaking it out. Now, 2 more weeks before cold Germany. Well, so where are you? You're in South America, right? Yes. Okay. Wow. So beautiful. And I wouldn't go to Germany right now. Like your niece. I kept laughing from the pain. I know. It's interesting because like when we were doing these regular Zooms, even myself, I've kind of focused more on like quads, hip flexors for the past like 2 weeks. So when I do those glutes, I'm like, it's like all over again. The pain is fresh. It's not like, oh, we remember this. It's like, no, it's painful all over again. So, but you know what's amazing is that your glutes get to a level of strength. Like for me, even though I haven't been doing glute activations like crazy like before, I still don't have any kind of aches or pains that I used to have before strengthening my glutes. So I think they retain that level of strength, but the burn is is fresh. So yeah, I guess at some point in your fourth or fifth day, you'll be completely numb to the sensation, which is good. Okay, so now we're gonna rise up onto our, so we were here, right? Where were we? Let me go there so you can see. So you're hugging your left knee into your chest, and then we're gonna extend the left leg, rising up and sitting really tall. Point the left toes, float that right shin up. Inhale your arms up, crown of the head nice and long, tap and lift. Try not to change anything. This leg is anchored. Your spine is nice and long. Nothing is changing except that left leg lifted. Good. Lift pelvic floor. Let's do 8. Belly draws in 7. Yes, good, Alexis. So you're staying lifted. Your heel is just lowering and lifting for 5, 4, 3. Oh, sorry, Magda is still pinned. 2. Yeah, Salma, you're pinned right now. And 1. Hold it there. Stay there. Stay lifted. Pam, what's happening? Yes, stay lifted. Squeeze that thigh to your chest. Arms up. Thinking about the transition that you're going to land into, either your side bend or your forward fold. So softly bring that left leg down, maybe going deeper into the side bend, looking for those toes this time, or you're just bringing the right knee open and forward folding. So choosing whatever you feel like here. I would recommend more of the side bend because it's really what we're trying to do for our back bends. Good. Take a big breath here. And then we're going to slowly bringing both feet to face forward, feet as wide as the mat, and then bring your fingers to face back to the back of your mat and start taking the shoulder stretch and extension. So lifting the chest, lifting the chin. You can let the tops of the shoulders roll forward, but try to pick up the chest. So this should feel nice. Bending the elbows slightly if you need to. Good, and then lowering all the way down. Take your blocks. So maybe 1 block for each foot, or you have your block this way for both heels. It's so bright here, but it's not warm, it's just bright. So bring your heels. Actually, I don't think this is a good idea. I think you need a block for each foot if you're taking the block option. If you don't have a block, you can use a stool, you can use a couch, anything like that. But ideally, you have your 2 blocks and you're pressing your feet into the blocks. So let's make our way into the bridge. So we've kind of activated each glute on its own. And now we're activating both together. We're involving them together. So let's keep the knees hip width distance and then lift your hips up. From here, it's very tempting to kind of go into this deep extension kind of bridge, right? What I want you to do is use your hands to knit the ribs together. The bottom ribs are closing together. It's purely hip extension. From here, hands on your hip points, and I want you to spin the pubic bone up. You're gonna drop it down, keep bottom ribs closed, isolate to the pelvis, exhale, tuck, tailbone under, pubic bone lift. So the the fronts of the thighs are stretching more as you do this. Drop the pubic bone down, tilt the pelvis, and tuck. Tilt and tuck. Learning to control your pelvis like that can be challenging at first, so try as much as you can to mobilize there. Last one. All right, from here, we're gonna lower a little bit more of our upper back down. Stay in that nice extension, tuck under, pubic bone lifting. Lower and lift. We're gonna take the arms down. Inhale, all the way up, bottom ribs closed. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Good, let's do 10. As you move the arms back, keep your hands as narrow as you can make them, but not narrower than shoulders distance. Okay, so the hands are not too wide apart. Very good. And a modification for this, if you have tight shoulders, so you want to keep your palms facing each other, but if you have tight shoulders, you can have the palms facing up. That's fine too. Okay, if it gives you more space. Let's do 6. Yes, Mina, that's perfect. 5, hips are lifting as you stretch the arms up, Crystal. Yeah, but close those ribs, exactly. And then lower the hips as the arms lower. So the arms are mimicking the hips, yes, exactly, yeah. Last 4. Beautiful, Alexis. 3. Moving upper body in 1 unit. 2. And 1. Now keep your arms lifted, keep your hips lifted, little pulses with the pubic bone for 10, 9, 8. Press into your heel bones. So move your heels higher up the blocks, Crystal. So they're not dangling. Oh, okay, I see them. Never mind. Yeah, press them down. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 faster ones. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower more of your upper back down to the mat. Keep your hips in extension though. Now almost only your lower back is lifted. Let's do 10 pulses. 10. Keep the arms lifted. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep it lifted. Lower more of your spine down. Just lower back is lifted. Yeah. Now lift your pubic bone up. You're going to alternate the arms. Right arm back, pulse. Release it back to center. Left arm back, pulse. Release it back to center. Keep going. Good. Back to center and switch. Very nice. So Andrew makes it look so effortless. Good. Last 3, 2, and 1. Lower more of your spine down. So now there's barely any space, but lift that pubic bone and pulse your last 10. Arms are both lifted. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ribs are closed. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted. Circle your hips in one direction. Good. And then circle your hips in the other direction. And then back to the center and lower down. Hug your knees into your chest. Remove the blocks to the side. You can take a little break, doing whatever feels nice. And then rocking back and forth a few times until you come up into your boat pose, straight legs for both. So it's nice sometimes to start this one out with like this. It can kind of let you find that thigh chest connection. So you can start out nice and close. You can even grab your ankles. Inhale, exhale, shoulders down. And then you know where your deepest passive kind of hold is, and you release, challenging it to stay right there. So it's nice to bring it close and then hold it with your strength. So try to do that. And then we're holding this boat for 1 minute. So let's just make sure that the timer is set up. So you can take a break for a moment so that you're not holding longer than a minute. But it's a lot. We're oh my God, almost spilled the water. We're holding for a minute because we're not just using our core, we're also using our quads, hip flexors, and all our bandhas. So not all, the two bandhas, the navel and the root lock. All right, timer for 1 minute in 3, 2, 1, and start. Good. So you're finding your nice passive hold for a moment. Then you're preparing to release. But before you prepare to release, prep your body by lifting pelvic floor. Thinking of that, whatever visual helped you in that lift of pelvic floor, belly drawing in, core set, cinching the waistline. Then release your legs and hold it there. Very good. Inhaling slowly. Exhale as you point your toes, draw the belly in. You're halfway there. Keep your chest lifted. Use your visual to help you here. Spacious spine. Face relaxed. You've got this. Stay with it. Chest up. Illuminate the crown of your head. You have 10 more seconds. Straighten the legs, Alexis. I just noticed your bent knees. Straighten. Yes, straight, straight, straight. Good. Straighten your legs, Salima. Okay, and release. Very nice. So we're going to cross our legs when you're ready and come into a tabletop position. Taking your time to come into the tabletop. Bring your fingers to face towards your knees, hands shoulder distance, and just gently rocking from side to side. So we're doing a wrist stretch to start, right? So the fingers are facing your knees. Flipping your fingers, yeah. And just easing into the wrists. You can rock forward and back a few times. You can even keep your back toes tucked under so that you're getting a stretch in the toes as well. Now we're gonna open the sitting bones, arch the spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, open the sitting bones, drop the pubic bone and drop the chest. Lift your chin, look up. Exhale, round the spine, lean back. Last one. Untuck your toes, bring your fingers forward. Index fingers square to the front. Make sure your hands aren't wider than your shoulders so that you can effortlessly stack your shoulders over the wrists and you're not kind of too far away. So you want to have that nice stacking. Knees are stacked under the hips. Toes are untucked, second toes straight back. Inhale, drop your chest. Open the sitting bones, look up. Try to access your upper spine here. Exhale, round. You can do this just like this in one kind of dimension, or you can start adding your figure 8 and moving more into your ribs and having somewhat of more dynamic movement. So do whatever you feel like. Keeping that visual with you that you did in the beginning of class where your spine is spacious, unrestricted, and free to move however you feel like. Maybe closing the eyes and just searching for a feeling of ease. Good. We're gonna stay here for 5 more breaths, so no rush. And at your own time, knowing that whenever you're ready, you can move into your extended puppy pose. Melting chest down. This is your first extended puppy, so let it take its time. And you don't have to go too deep. You can just settle into it slowly. Good, very nice. You can let the hips shift a little bit over the knees so you can make more space for the chest to come down. And let's take another big breath into backs of the lungs, into the sides of the rib cage and into the diaphragm. And as you exhale, as you rise up, I want you to rise up with an articulation very slowly. Keeping your hands in that extended puppy position, arch the spine, melting back down into your second extended puppy. Taking a big breath here or two, whatever feels good, and articulating to come out. Pushing the mat away from you as you arch and find your third extended puppy. So these are waves or kind of spinal rolls into extended puppy. And they're kind of easing you to go deeper. So any posture that we're doing in the next 5 days where we feel like we're kind of stuck once we go into the pose, like we're very restricted, we can't breathe, it's hard, it feels like our spine is made of a block of wood, we're going to add those movements, those fluid movements, so that we can ease into it, find more freedom, change our perspective. Good, hold here in this last extended puppy. If you want to continue doing those waves, you can do that as well. You have 3 breaths to do whatever you'd like, holding or articulating the spine. Last breath. And rising up, let's bring our index fingers forward. We're going to curl the toes, lifting the hips up and back to come into the first downward facing dog. Bend the knees, pedal the feet. Preparing to move a little bit faster. So we're going to flow through, we're going to move through a flow where we're going to be doing some plank holds and some hip opening and stuff like that. So just taking a moment to settle with the breath. On your next inhale, come up high on your toes, rolling forward slowly into a plank position, and then bending the knees, arching the spine back to down dog. So doing those spinal articulations back to down dog 2 more times. Roll it forward like a wave. Bend your knees, arch back, down dog. Beautiful.